In this video we'll look at some really cool stuff that Gilad Hekselman is playing over a minor 2-5 progression, not going to the 1 minor chord but to the 1 major chord. Okay, so instead of going from an E7 chord to a A7 to a kind of D minor, we're going from E7 to an A7 to a D major 7 chord. So what can we learn from Gilad Hekselman? Well, you should really check him out first. I will put a link in the description to his YouTube channel, and yeah, I played on a bunch of different records, and yeah, he's one of the most interesting guitarists of today, I think. I have transcribed a few bars, and we will analyze what he's doing over this minor 2-5 progression, not going to the 1 minor chord but to the 1 major chord. And to get some context, we will look at some bars leading up to the 2-5-1 progression. So the tune that Gilad is playing is Alone Together. Really good tune. And Gilad is not only a really good improviser when it comes to single lines, he just comes up with some really great voicings. There's a free PDF in the description that you can download and follow, but yeah, you can follow it on the screen, of course, also. So the first chord we're going to look at is a E7 chord. Gilad is playing a E7 flat 9. He has the third in the bass and the root as top note. And we are skipping the B string, so it's gonna go like... So you could play this with a pick, or a pick and a finger. Or you can use just the fingers, of course, but if you use the fingers, it's gonna be really hard to play this fast line that comes a little bit later. Yeah, this is a E7 flat 9, doesn't really have a third, but it's just to get to this note, just the voice leading. And then we're gonna go to this chord. Yeah, that's some really nice voicing. Okay, so Gilad is playing it's a G minor 11th chord with a 9 in it also, and so we just call it G minor 11th, of course. But the interesting thing is that we have the 9 in the bass. And as before, we're gonna skip the B string and just... And the bass is playing this note, the root, so we have the voicing that Gilad is playing is a rootless voicing, but we have that note there. So this voicing wouldn't really work if we played it octave lower, but yeah, together with a low bass note G. It really works. Nice. Okay, so the next chord is C7 actually, but Ben is playing the tritone substitute of C7, which is F sharp. If you don't really know what a tritone substitute is, it's not that hard. It's just if you play a dominant 7 chord, you could play a dominant 7 chord, a tritone above that chord, or a flat 5 interval. So if you have a 2-5-1 progression, like D minus 7, going to a G7, going to a C major chord. Then you can play D-7, going to C sharp 7, to C major 7. Yeah, tritone substitutes might be a subject for a later video. Okay, that's really mellow kind of sound for a C7 chord. And yeah, we have a sharp 9 and a sharp 5 in this chord, so it's a lot of tension. And then we're going to this F6 chord, which is just a F major chord. Yeah, it's pretty common to play a major 6 chord instead of a major 7 chord. And then he's putting this note in the chord. That's a sharp 11th or a sharp 4. Some of you may recognize this chord shape as the second inversion of a B-7 flat 5 chord in drop 2 voicing. But yeah, I can see it as F major chord with a sharp 11 in it. And this note creates some nice tension to the next chord. That's E-7 flat 5 chord with a flat 5, of course. So yeah, and so we have and then Gilad is playing this line. Okay, so before Gilad is coming to this E-7 flat 5 chord, he's going nothing weird, but then he plays. So the first 3 notes are it creates a sus structure. If you don't know what the sus structure is, it's just a triad, but instead of 1-3-5, it's 1-4-5 or 1-2-5. It's a really waken up sound, like okay. Yeah, and then it goes. Yeah, natural 9 on the E-7 flat 5, which is nice. It's from the Locrian natural 9 or a natural 2 scale, depending on what you want to call it. So it's just like a normal Locrian scale, but this note is here instead. Sounds really nice. It's going. And that's notes from the altered scale, so it's just Gilad is outlining the tritone sub of the A7 chord, the E flat 7, when he's playing. So we have. So what's happening here when we go to the D major 7? Well, we are doing something that's really common. We are playing triad pairs. Triad pairs is just playing triads apart from each other. They should not contain the same notes or any note that's the same as the other triad. So if, for example, we have this is really common, the most easy one also. It's playing, in this case, a D major triad. And then you just play the same triad up a whole step, so it's an E major triad. And that creates a Lydian sound, because this is the root, this is the third, this is the fifth. But if we play this and see this E major triad as a part of a D major chord, this is the ninth, this is the sharp 11th, and this is the 6th or 13th if you're playing a D major 7 chord. Yeah, and that is what Gilad is doing here. He's playing this D note, and then he is playing a E triad. So it's just... So this kind of triad pairs you can do whenever you want to play kind of a Lydian sounding chord. So we have a sharp 11th, gives it a Lydian sound. So try that, of course. And that's the same for the upcoming notes here, because Gilad is not only playing E triad over the D major, but he's also playing E major pentatonic. And of course, normally you think, D major chord. I play D major pentatonic. But you can play E major pentatonic as well, just as you could do with the triads. Like. And that is what Gilad is doing here. He's going and then going down this E major pentatonic. Okay, so now maybe you say, well, the D chord, isn't that kind of a one chord? Shouldn't you play Ionian? Well, it's up to you. You can play a Lydian scale instead, and many of us do, because that's a more interesting sound to many people. And Gilad is playing Lydian, so why shouldn't you? This is just a beautiful way to play an E7 flat 9 chord. Going to this G minor 11 chord with the 9th in the bass, and just this interval between the 9th and the flat third. Just that's beautiful. And you have tritone sub, and then so great. And this note just creates, it's creating so much tension everywhere. And then this line. Really great playing by Gilad, as always. Teaches us many great stuff. So this was the first episode. There will be some more episodes dealing with the 2 - 7 flat 5 to 5/7, going not to the minor chord but to the major chord. I'm going to look at some other great musicians that are soloing over this chord progression. And so stick around, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And don't forget to download this PDF, of course.
Imaj7b5